Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this hour, a Bradenton man has been arrested, charged with murder after sheriff's investigators say he set his victim's body on fire.
Tonight we're learning the victim, 50-year-old Veronica Polite, was legally blind. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office tonight. And Jess, what do we know so far about the relationship between the victim and her alleged killer?
Jacqueline, Scott, it appears that these two just were acquaintances. I'm told by neighbors that the suspect, Dakota Gibson, would hang out at the complex where Polite lived. Polite was blind, couldn't drive, and neighbors suspect that he was just giving her a ride the night she was killed. 23-year-old Dakota Gibson is locked up in the Manatee County Jail. The judge denying him bail.
That'll be the order of the court. There'll be no bond. I'll appoint a public defender to represent this individual.
His alleged victim, 50-year-old Veronica Polite, smashed over the head and killed. Her body then left in these woods. Gibson allegedly setting Polite's body on fire.
They came across one another. They went out to party, and he ended up getting into an argument with her.
Witnesses told deputies that the night of the murder, Gibson was flirting with Polite outside of her home at the City Walk Apartments.
I don't know him. I've seen him around. I think she was just looking for a ride to go get cigarettes at the store.
Polite's neighbor, Amanda Capon, talking to Polite just hours before her murder.
She did not deserve what happened to her at all. She was sweet, she was kind, she always helped people out.
Polite and two witnesses allegedly got in the car with Gibson that night. Witnesses telling police that they were later dropped off and that Gibson left with Polite in the car. That was the last time that Polite was ever seen alive.
There are many unanswered questions still in this investigation, but we may never know the true motive as to why he did this other than he just got angry.
Her body was found early the next morning in the woods off of 18th Street East in Bradenton. What happened between the time Gibson left in the car with Polite and when her body was found is still a mystery.
I hope that he spends the rest of his life in jail, and he definitely deserves the worst punishment possible that they can give him.
Deputies say that both Polite and Gibson were on narcotics the night of her murder. Now, Gibson did try to flee from police when they were going to arrest him last night, but he was apprehended shortly after. Reporting live in Bradenton, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Jess, thank you. The Sarasota County Fire Chief has issued a countywide recreational burn ban due to dry conditions. The weather is causing an increase in wildfire risk, and firefighters have already seen a recent uptick in the number of calls for wildfires. The ban means no one can burn campfires or fire pits, but you can still have cooking fires using a grill, coals, and propane. The fire chief asks that anyone who does so takes the proper measures to cool any hot coals.
We're in a very severe drought within Sarasota County. Our Keach-Byram index is telling us that we're above 500. When it's above 500 in that index, everything is very dry, tinder conditions, and things can start very rapidly and progress very rapidly.
The fire chief also says the recreational burn ban will remain in effect until those dry conditions improve.
Florida Forest Service officials say we have a year-long fire season.
So if you live in or near a wooded area, here are a few things that you can do to eliminate the risk of your home catching fire. Patrick Mahoney with the Florida Forest Service recommends making sure plants are waist high with all leaves raked up. This will keep flames from burning up those plants and igniting your home. Also, make sure your yard is clean and green, meaning grass is alive and cut down low.
This is a good way to keep that fire from creeping up to your home. The owner here has taken these rocks and put them down. That way when the fire creeps up to it, the fire will actually stop because everyone knows rock won't burn. So the fire has no chance to get up close to the house.
It's also important to keep your roof and gutters clear of debris. Embers can travel up to a mile under the right conditions. And if it lands on your roof from a nearby wildfire, your house could go up in flames.
Yeah, just make sure everything is clear.
Right.
You know, get all of that flammable material away from your home. Let's get more on those drought numbers right now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
You heard the gentleman talk about the Keach-Byram Index. That's the index that shows how dry the layer is, called the duff layer, which allows the ground actually to burn and spread fires to other trees. And here's a look at those numbers right now. I mentioned Sarasota County above 500. That number continues to climb. And this cold front's not going to help much. 524 in DeSoto County. Now, lesser numbers into Hardy and Manatee counties, but I expect those to be up to 500 fairly quickly. And again, the driest place in Florida is down to our south in Monroe County and Dade-Broward. Here's a look at that front now. You can see it approaching Pine Island, but the front itself is, this is a trough of low pressure. The cold front back here, it's a prefrontal trough that is weakening as it pushes in our direction. So all the rain chances down to about 20% or less for that front to move through on Thursday morning. Well, much more in our forecast. Talk about another cold front headed our way for the weekend. Could disrupt your weekend plans. Details and all that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, talk to you soon. A former New Orleans Saints cheerleader now living here in Sarasota has filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission against the New Orleans Saints, accusing the organization of gender discrimination. Bailey Davis moved to Sarasota after she was fired by the New Orleans Saints. She says the entire Saint Sations cheerleading team had to follow strict guidelines, but the football players did not. The cheer team's handbook states cheerleaders will be terminated for socializing with the team's players. The women also have to follow strict social media guidelines, blocking all players and not posting photos wearing the Saints logo or lingerie. Davis says the complaint focuses on what she calls unfair rules and regulations for the women.
I want to be treated like a professional athlete, just like the professional football players are treated like professional football players. I want to be treated like a professional cheerleader.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, Ellen Cohn will be joined by the former cheerleader, and we'll hear what she wants to come out of this case.
50 years ago today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on a hotel balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. His death not only impacted change in the country, but also had a huge effect here on the Suncoast. Every year, City of Sarasota holds a breakfast and a unity walk in his honor. When community historian and business owner Jensen Grimes heard the news 5 decades ago, he was working as a barber on 27th Street in Sarasota, which has now been named Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Grimes says there was a sense of disappointment in the Newtown community and other areas, but overall, there was mostly fear.
You know, the progress that we were making and the things that we had addressed with civil rights and the Jim Crow and segregation, the feeling that there was such a loss that we were going to start losing a lot of that.
While Grimes agrees progress has been made in the community and the country, he says there's still an immense amount of work that still needs to be done. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a new phone scam alert that local law enforcement wants you to be aware of.
And you may have noticed an increased number of gators in Florida pools recently. We'll speak to an expert that'll help you prevent that from happening.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
You know what's really shocking? This is. And this for sure. Don't forget this. Oh, and that. But the most shocking thing of all is when people try to do electrical work without us.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You know what's really shocking? This is. And this for sure. Don't forget this. Oh, and that. But the most shocking thing of all is when people try to do electrical work without us.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closets story.
Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
We want to warn you tonight of a phone scam that's in the area right now. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says they've received 2 reports this week of a caller claiming to be someone by the name of Lieutenant Paul Kruger. During the call, the scammer tells the victims they have an outstanding warrant and owe the Sheriff's Office money. Well, the real Sheriff's Office wants you to know that there is not a deputy by that name, and they would never demand payment of any kind over the phone. So just hang up and then call the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your First Alert weather forecast after the break.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Set your course for a waterfront lifestyle on Florida's last private island. Discover one particular harbor by Margaritaville. Nearby sugar sand beaches are as easy to find as the warm Florida sunshine. Waterfront residences from the high 400s overlook beautiful Anna Maria Sound. And a new marina with direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour designer models today. Visit ophmintousa.com now.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I want to be treated like a professional athlete, just like the professional football players are treated like professional football players. I want to be treated like a professional cheerleader.
A former New Orleans Saints cheerleader has filed a complaint against the team, accusing it of gender discrimination. Does she have a case? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have Bailey Davis here. Meet me at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at nationalguard.com.
All right, Bob is back, and got a front coming, but it's not going to do much. Huh?
Not much. This one won't. I think the one on Saturday, a little bit better chance for some rain. We need it. We saw that index is very high as far as the drought goes, and looks like even a better chance early next week. A very fast-moving system going to be sliding through parts of the eastern United States. The Nina and the Pinta were down in Venice, docked there for a while this week, and they took off this morning. Carl Gates getting this picture, not actual the Nina and the Pinta, but replicas, and a lot of folks are checking those out. Nice, clear sailing today, and it should stay that way for the most part tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze for the sails tomorrow to start things off in the morning. You can see from the Van Wezel webcam, nice day out on the bay. Had a chance to get out there and caught some fish today. Van Wezel webcam showing just a few fair weather cumulus clouds around. Mentioned the cold front. Well, not much to it right now. It's a frontal system that really lost its main push as far as moving down here and cooling things down because the low pressure area is up in the northeast United States. But that cold front extends all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico. It's still a ways away from us, and it looks like it will slide through. Not very noticeable in terms of temperature change, but it will bring some drier air, and out ahead of it there was a trough of low pressure. This trough is for the most part weakening as it makes its way toward our coast. Rain chance less than 20%. Now with this front, it'll move through early morning on Thursday, and you'll see that in the futurecast. Taking you through time, you'll notice the dry conditions keeping skies clear through Georgia and North Florida tomorrow. And then the front moves through on Thursday morning, right around sunrise, a few clouds in the morning, but then quickly those winds will switch out of the east-northeast, and that means high pressure builds in fairly quickly. The front fades down to our south, and we don't expect a lot of rainfall here at all. Another system, a quick hitter, developing over the central U.S., will eventually swing another front our way come late Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, bringing with it a little bit better chance for some showers around, but not a lot. 74 degrees right now in Jacksonville. It's 10 degrees warmer in Orlando. If you're away from that sea breeze, temperature's still very warm at this hour. It's 85 in Arcadia, 87 in Sebring and Lake Placid, but notice the milder temperatures due to the Gulf water temperature now, which is at 77 degrees. And 80 in Northport now. Venice, you're at 77, and 75 in Inglewood. Currently at the airport, it's 77 degrees. We have a few clouds around. The dew point temperature 69, winds out of the west-northwest. The high today was 80. That's 1 degree above the average of 79, and 62 fairly close to our average. Tomorrow's forecast looks good. We'll start off into the mid-60s and then warm up to around 80 degrees in the afternoon, 81 and maybe some mid-80s east of I-75. Well, progressive pattern. I mentioned that. Here's that snowstorm over the northeast, bringing some snow showers now into northeast Ohio from Toledo all the way over to Cleveland, Buffalo getting some snow showers occasionally. Out west, the big story will be over the next 2 days as this very large plume of moisture moves into the entire western United States, and it's going to cause some significant problems with flooding there. I want to show you the extended forecast. Well, that snowstorm, another one develops on Friday, moves through Michigan and northern Ohio. Another one comes on Saturday all the way down into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And yet another one develops on Sunday. So winter refuses to leave over much of the upper Mississippi Valley, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be basically out of the north and northwest, switching to the northeast late in the day. We'll start off at 15 knots and then subside 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. Well, here's your 7-day forecast. It looks pretty good. Temperatures don't drop because of this front all that much. It's, in fact, staying above average. And then we moisten up in advance of the next cold front on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. The rain chance at 40%. You'll notice a little bit better chance for some showers come Tuesday at 50%, as a little bit better chance for a frontal system to bring some of the showers our way. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. You may have noticed an increase in gator sightings in unlikely places recently.
Florida Fish and Wildlife warns it is mating season and reptiles tend to be more active in the spring. ABC 7's Rick Adams is at the home of one victim who found a gator in her pool just last night. Rick, what are some things that people can do to keep their homes safe from these gators?
Yeah, guys, good evening. There is a lot you can do, and the gator last night, or in the early morning hours, ended up in this pool here at this Lakewood Ranch home belonging to Jerry and Judy Zivick. I'm now joined by wildlife expert Justin Matthews, who has some good advice for us because this seems like it's been going on quite a bit lately. And Justin, come on in here, and as you can see, Justin does have a little friend with him. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And this is Irwin, named after Steve Irwin.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and what's going on here? Why are these gators ending up in these pools at these homes?
You got a lot of males out there wanting to breed right now. It's mating season. And also the females are moving around. They're making grunting noises, and they're just walking around until they hear the other one grunt back. And they'll just keep on walking until they hear that noise. So the thing to do, if you see one, just stay away from it. Now, if it's in a swimming pool, of course, you got to call someone. Call the Florida Wildlife Commission. But don't try to do anything yourself. These animals are extremely strong.
Okay, what is the most important bit of advice you can pass along to folks? Obviously, there are a lot of gators here in Florida and in Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Bradenton, all over the area.
Yes.
What would you suggest?
The main number one thing if you live in Florida is never feed an alligator. Even one time will ruin him. He'll associate people with food for the rest of his life. Keep your pets away from the edge of the water, especially around dusk. That's when the gators are lying on the bottom, ready to jump out and grab a mammal, put him back in for a death roll. So you don't want your dog near the water like that.
Okay, great bits of advice. And that's Justin Matthews, a wildlife expert. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
And again, just be careful out there. This has been happening a lot. And we'll have a lot more on this story coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. In the meantime, reporting live from Lakewood Ranch this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. Happening in Florida, police in South Florida are looking for a man who stole a car with a baby inside. According to Fort Lauderdale police, the suspect took the car, leaving his bike behind earlier this morning. A few hours later, they found it with the one-year-old girl safely inside. The suspect is still at large. More news after
Tonight,
this.
the new immigration crackdown.
We're going to be guarding our border with the military.
Plus, a nation remembers. We're in Memphis for the 50th anniversary of the MLK assassination. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert, weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
You know what's really shocking? This is. And this for sure. Don't forget this. Oh, and that. But the most shocking thing of all is when people try to do electrical work without us.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You know what's really shocking? This is. And this for sure. Don't forget this. Oh, and that. But the most shocking thing of all is when people try to do electrical work without us.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
Time again to visit one of the area's top golf courses in the Dream 18.
That's right, and Scott is taking us to Laurel Oak Country Club in Sarasota to play one of the course's challenging par 5s.
Welcome to Laurel Oak Country Club on a blustery day, but a nice day. Assistant golf professional Brett Miller, thanks for having us out today. We're going to play, I guess, against the wind a little bit today on a challenging par 5. Tell us about this hole, Brett.
So we're on number 9 of our East Golf course here, and it's a very scoreable par 5. It's a slight dogleg left, Pretty generous fairway and some challenges up at the green with some water on the right side. Great hole.
Let's tee it up.
Good ball.
There you go. Nice shot, Brett.
Nice ball. That's a little high into the wind there.
Oh, I caught it thin. And there it goes.
Not bad from there. Well done. Very nice.
Slow down. Come on. Get up that hill.
That hill.
Oh, good try. Good try. Not enough.
Wind took it. Good effort.
Brett, let's bring in your general manager, Greg Clark. Greg, thanks for having us out today.
Welcome.
Tell us about how people can play out here. You have memberships available, right?
We certainly do. We've got a lot of wonderful programs. We've got a day of discovery that gives an individual an opportunity to come out and sample the club. We've got an exciting new program this year where we repositioned our entry fee pricing for golf memberships, and club has a lot to offer with the two wonderful golf courses.
Yep. Thank you for having us out.
Oh, thank you.
Brett,
Glad
thanks for
here.
that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Great to play with you.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Dream 18. And we'll see you later.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Breaking news overnight.
Major changes are coming to this area.
A large wildfire shut down the turnpike.
What police are doing to keep these folks safe.
But taking a look back to the west, this is the big weather maker.
We're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown, 301 and 70.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
A historic court case comes to life on a Suncoast stage. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll learn about Roe at Oslo Rep as we meet the women behind the abortion rights case. We all have inner glam, and a fashion show from Red Hot Paris will help us find it. Plus, the latest development on living with type 1 diabetes. And Seafood Shack is in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.